From the balmy shores of sunny Florida to the cold winds of Chicago and everywhere in between, you're watching the Red Wemette Show, live, coast to coast.
Hello, everybody. Today is July 14th, 2025, and I am Red Wemette. How you folks doing? Joseph, good to see you. Hello, Christina, how you doing? My favorite member. Got a surprise coming for you. Dave M, how you doing, buddy? And the rest of you folks. I don't know what kind of crowd's going to show up today, but I have a couple surprises. Frank Ferrero. How you doing, Frank? Because of things like this, September 15th, 1988, a DVD. I went crazy. I started doing things, and I said, nobody's ever going to change these tapes, the videotapes, except me. I've been sending them off to different places, trying to get other people to do them, and guess what? They don't really care. It's not even about money. They just don't care. I sent them to several different places, and they told me, it's not gonna work. So I finally decided to get the equipment myself and transfer it to digital, and it's worked. The equipment works fine, it really does. It's just a matter of getting it all done. I have some lost tapes, Frank Schweihs. Nobody has these. Adam doesn't have them. Nobody has them. I mean, this is something that I found when I was looking. Even according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the government doesn't even have copies of these. So they were given to me to review before I went to court, and they must have forgot about them because I forgot about them, and I found them in a storage room in a box. So that's just the way it was. I see we have some questions here. BSJ, hey everybody, how you doing? Ryan Brown saying how. Christina Morris, how you doing, Christina? It is exciting, very exciting. And Christina, I'm going to tell you what somebody else told me. They told me that I should upload that to members only. And Christina, you're a member. That's why I said I had a surprise for you. I don't know if it's fair, but I don't know if it's fair to my loyal members that I don't give them something special. And that is going to be something special. But I don't know if do you really want to see it? Christina, you're already a member. Do you want to see it? Let me know. Steve Sly. Hi, Red from Lockport. Boy, I remember that. Out by Maple Lake. Okay, while we're waiting for Christina to answer my question, and I don't have anybody else in here other than Christina that are members, do I? No, she's the only member. That's it. I do have other members. Hey, Ben Cardi, how you doing? Anyway, it got to the point where, how did I get to where I'm at now? Well, you definitely want to see it. Well, you're going to see it one way or the other because you're a member. But I may put it on for members only. It's going to be private. It won't be a public viewing. It'll be for you folks. Thank you, Christina, for being a loyal member. I've never actually posted anything for you, but this is something that I'm really thinking about. Nobody has it. I mean, I've had other people ask me if they could look at it, if they could use it, all different kinds of things. No, it's not going to be that way. It's Frank Schweihs in my living room talking to me. And it's kind of interesting. Some of the things, it's casual, but some of the things that are in there are kind of interesting. George Wilson. Hi, Red Alpha Crew. I'm getting ready to devour hot, juicy Chicagoland Italian beef with sweet peppers and jardiniere. Enjoy it, George. You just made my mouth water. So, as it goes, as I was looking through these things, I sat around and, I live in Florida, and I'm looking around at different things in my life. My Duker dog, and some of the other things. And I'm saying to myself, how did I get from where I was then in 1968 to where I am now? Well, I finally realized I never planned anything in my life. Never. Yeah, I planned on going to the Marine Corps. I didn't plan on having the problems there. I didn't plan on getting assigned to that unit. A lot of things, believe me, it didn't come out anything like I planned. Nothing. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was lost, really lost. What was I going to do? I don't know yet. I was looking around. And when I was looking around, I wanted to see my uncle. I was forbidden to see my uncle. My uncle was an alcoholic. And in seeking out Roy Wemette, I found Marion McGann. He was dating her at the time, and she was Kurt Hansen's sister. So, that's how it really got into it. My Uncle Roy was painting an apartment for Kurt. Kurt used to use him as cheap labor, and Marion used to use him as a jocker. That's the way it was. But what happened was, I don't know. She got me the job with Kurt, and that was like in the summer of 1968. Actually, the spring of 1968. It was early. It was like maybe March, and from there, it was the fish that ate the fish that ate the fish that ate the fish. Just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It wasn't until after Kurt introduced me to Jimmy Couture, and he was married to Diane at that time, Diane Hansen. And some of the other people I started to socialize with, and went on to the crew, so to speak. Everybody met at American Bonding, and that was Milwaukee Phil and Joey Lombardo. His rap partner at the time was Tony Spilaccio. They used to hang out together. And then there was Irv Weiner, Frank Schweihs. Frank Schweihs was just muscle. That's all he was at that time. He was Milwaukee Phil's bodyguard. But it went from there to, without going into too many details, to me getting started as a bartender. Then it went, Irv Weiner came and collected my money that some people owed me. Some people used to push me around or didn't let it happen, or tried not to let it happen. After it happened, he straightened people out and said, give him his money. And I noticed that people were afraid of Irv. They weren't just cautious about him. They feared Irv. And maybe it's because of the crew he hung with. He was always hanging with Tony. He was always hanging with Schweihs. He was always He used to play a game called Klaviash. It was a Jewish card game, and Frank Schweihs used to play it with him. But it's the way it was. And then from there, from the bars, Kurt Hansen gave me I had a dream. It was to become my own business owner. And I didn't want to own a bar. I wanted the porn shop. They made 20 times more than bars did. So I got that. And then I got connected through Marshall Cafano. But in that connection, it was Joey Lombardo. And then when Marshall got out of prison, I got connected with him. Tony Spilaccio. I never did anything criminal with him. We used to go out and have a few drinks and hang out. That's it. While I'm talking about Tony, I want to tell you there was a comment about an hour and a half ago. Somebody was going through my videos, and the guy said, with a question mark. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl because they didn't have a picture, and the name was kind of generic. It was only a last name. But I left a comment in there. And he said, they said, you or Tony Spilaccio knew that you were working with the FBI? I'm sorry. I can't believe that. And I looked at the comment, and I've heard these comments before, that particular one a lot. But as I looked at it, my answer was very simple. I said, I don't care what you believe. I could care less. That's the way it was. And here I am in 2025, and they're all gone. Everybody that I knew then, they're all gone. They all passed away. I didn't even mention Louis Ebele, but it's just a whole lot of people that I knew back then. So anyway, I get in the porn business. I do that. I meet Leo DeAngelis. He's an FBI agent. I meet some other people, and one of the people I met was my partner, who became my partner. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a picture of him. Not many people have seen Lenny, and that is Lenny. Lenny on the left, my left anyway, and that's Jewel, his girlfriend at the time. Lenny was in between marriages. He was divorced, but he liked to drink a lot. And his favorite watering hole was the Crystal Pistol on Wall Street. He liked the joints on Wall Street. All of them, as a matter of fact. But he came along in that time period also. So it was a little bit different for me. A lot different. Anywho, somebody else that came into my life at that time was this guy. And I don't know if any of you recognize him. We all called him Pudgy. His real name is Johnny Matassa. And he was young, and he thought he was a tough guy. And he came to try and lean on me and extort me. Actually take a piece of me. And I said, no way. Ain't going to happen. Why? Because I had this guy with me. That's why. It wasn't going to happen. That's a good picture, Tony. I like it. I like it a lot. But that's just looking back at some of the things that I'm looking back at. It's Dave, you like the answer I gave back to him, huh? Normally I just take a comment like that and I just delete it. I mean, I don't care what you like. If you don't like it, that's fine. You want to tell me that you don't like it? You don't know me. I don't know you. Were you alive then? Did you ever meet any, or do you think it's Nicky Santoro? Do you think it's from the movie Casino? Do you think that man is the movie you saw, or in the man you saw in that movie? And the truth of the matter is, it's not. Adam and I have shown you on my vlog several people that knew Tony or met Tony, and he was never that kind of person. And yet people presume to know exactly what he's like. From the newspapers? Nah, they don't give you a good degree, and neither does the movie. The movie doesn't either. Casino is not accurate. It's entertainment. That's all. Tim Peroni, I always had backup when I needed it. Always. I'm gonna share with you another picture, folks. And this picture, I'll have to do some explaining on. But if you read real careful, up in the corner on my left anyway, on your left, it says the plug nickel on the top of the marquee. And then it's got the headliners right there, the Axe. That building used to be Frank Schweihs's. He acquired it. That little tiny building where the two ladies are walking to the right of it, at the back end of the Corvair, is the shack where the gunman, who was actually Frank Schweihs, was hiding and came out and killed Paul Gonski. But when Frank Schweihs acquired this building, that's what it looked like. And it was a place where, I don't know, live bands. It was a good place. But the Plug Nickel was one of the most important places for entertainment down there. What he did was he changed it and moved it all around, changed it back to part of it was cut off, went all the way to the back. And then his apartment was upstairs. I kind of did the same thing with my building. It worked. So let's get back on my trail here. So I went through hanging out at Kozo's, watching people get murdered, becoming in 1971, October of 1971, I became an FBI informant. I contacted an FBI agent, John Osborne, and said, I think I can help you guys out. And some people call that a contract agent because I kind of did what I wanted to do. Some people call it an informant. The newspapers call me an informant, a mole, that I mold my way in, and I really did. So that's the way it was. But as I got through to that in 1986, Frank Schweihs was telling me about how he was one of the participants that murdered Frank Schweihs, or murdered Tony Spilaccio. And while he was telling me that, Tony was already dead, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But anyway, the way it went was I went to the U.S. Attorney's office, and I was never supposed to testify in court, ever. I was supposed to do my job, slip in and out of town, and be gone. Didn't work out that way. So I set up I talked to the U.S. Attorney, Assistant U.S. Attorney at the time, Tom Knight, and they provided the equipment, the FBI did, and they were supposed to come out and install it. They didn't have a technician available. They were too busy. So I installed it myself, did some trial and error on it. There were some things that were really bad, didn't work, but it was that way. And then eventually, when we got everything that we wanted, that they wanted, I mean, he was getting ready to murder Tushin and Steve Tushin and take over the Bijou Theater. He'd already murdered Pat Riccardi, and that's on videotape. And so is Paul Gonski. But the way he describes it, he didn't say, "Oh, I went over there and I murdered him." No, he doesn't say it that way. He says, "You mean the kid by that had the accident by my shed? He got shot once in the leg and 7 in the head." That's how he refers to Paul Gonski. And as far as Patsy Riccardi, who was the cousin, I believe, of Milwaukee Phil, who was running the Admiral Theater, and Frank was getting a piece of that too. Frank had a lot to do with it. When Phil died, it went to Patsy Riccardi. But what happened was he told me. He said, "Yeah, he was rat holing." And I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "I put him in the trunk of a smoker." Those were his exact words. I reported to the FBI. And they saw it on tape. They saw everything else. It just was the way it was. We got some questions here. I'm going to stop what I'm doing. Carl D. Hey, Red, how well did I know Bill Romer? I knew him pretty well. He wasn't invited to my house. We never went to dinner, but we really got along together. I think all the Marines that were FBI agents I got along with no problems. If they were a Marine, we just had the same values. It just happened that way. I hope that answers your question. How well did I know him? Well enough that I had his home phone. We trusted each other. I had his home phone, and even when I was living in Florida, I'd call him. His wife would answer the phone. I know him pretty good. So, Tracy, how you doing? How you doing, Tracy? The crowd, just in case you didn't hear it, you're a member also of my channel. I'm finishing up on the making of the tapes, or converting the tapes, Frank Schweihs. And as I do, I'm going to load them, but it'll be for a members only guy. And you're a member already. So is Tracy. Excuse me. So is Christina. Sorry. Doing great. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing great. I really am. Scott H., how you doing, buddy? So, from there, I tell the U.S. attorney that I can get him to talk. He talks too much already. And they said, this guy doesn't even have a phone. He doesn't talk on the phone. I said, he talks on my phone. He uses other people's phones to talk on. He doesn't have to have a phone in his house. He goes to a payphone or he uses somebody else's phone. That's just the way it was. And, the government didn't understand that. U.S. Attorney's Office didn't understand it. The FBI didn't understand it. It was just like everybody was screwed up. I mean, they were really screwed up. So I talked them into it. After the first tape, they looked at it. They said, wow. Okay, we want more. We want more. We want more. We want more. How you doing, Big Tuna? I had members. They left. Evidently, they didn't like it. I had like maybe 20 members. and they all left. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. I have no idea. Chain Weaver, how you doing, buddy? Ex-cop, when Frank came in, the music stopped. No, the music didn't stop. So anyway, excuse me. The music stopped. Um, I go to Florida, my first vacation in over 20 years. And crowd, you're getting me here. Bill, you're a joke. You really are. I love you. Join the ghost of Frank. We'll visit you. uh, when Frank came in, the music stopped in his bar. I don't know. I never went in his bar. I never went in any of his joints. He came in mine. That was it. So when I bought the house and everything, I went back and I said, I'm not staying in another 60 below wind chill factor in Chicago again. It's never going to happen again. I'm going to get out of here. And I sold everything without telling the FBI. That time, Peanuts Pansco, Paul Pansco was working with me. I had him working in the hot dog stand. Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate it. You're a loyal member. You're a loyal member, buddy. The crowd. So, after I told Jim Bogner, I was having a riff with a Scott at the time, Scott Jennings. And after I told Jim Bogner that I sold the property, he said, "You what?" And I said, "I sold the property. I'm packing up. I'm leaving." He said, "You can't do that." I said, "The hell I can't. I'm doing it. I'm gone. That's the way it is." And we finished up. I went back to Florida. I flew back for the arrest on September 15th, 1988, which I think most of that's on here. The actual exchanging of money, et cetera, et cetera. There were a lot of FBI agents in my home, but I never planned on going to court. I never planned on any of this baloney. I just didn't plan on it. I had agoraphobia for years. For me to go to Florida, impossible. Never going to happen. But I did. I never planned when I got to Florida. On 9 or 10 different occasions, I've had skin cancer. And there were 9 or 10 different times where it had to be removed. I didn't plan on that. It was only squamous, though. It's not bad. And it may happen again. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. I never planned on any of this. I never planned really on writing a book. I never planned on coming out in the public. A lot of people thought I was dead, that I disappeared. In 2016, I came out to the public. Actually, I came out a little bit to the public in 1990 with John Drummond. But I was in silhouette. I didn't want anybody to see my face. That was the way it was. So 2016, bang. I got pictures. I got a book. I'm telling everybody about what's going on. It's a different world. I moved my mother here. She lived in Fort Myers, and I moved her up here because our family was getting scarce. There wasn't much of us. So that was 2016. It's 2025. And there's a lot of things that happened in between then. A lot. Hurricane Michael in 2018. We had a film going, a movie, and that got killed in 2019, early after the hurricane. Nobody could reach us here. It was impossible. Things were different. But the whole thing was an accident. I never planned it out and say, oh, because of this, this will happen. Or because of that, that will happen. None of it. It was all an accident. Even Marshall Cafano. Marshall Cafano was a total. I didn't know who he was when I first saw him. I had no idea who he was. I knew he was with Joey Lombardo, and they respected him. I mean, they talked to him very politely. They didn't push him around. He wasn't like some of the other guys that I knew that were older, his age, and they got pushed around. Not Marshall. He was treated with respect. And why? There's another thing. Why did he take a liking to me? I'll never know. When I went to toss in my keys and say, I'm through with you people, to Marshall Cafano. And I told him, I said, I thought you people were men of your word. You're not. And he laughed. He found it amusing. But he also took a liking to me. And because of that liking, it just kept progressing and progressing and progressing. And at any rate, I'm here today. Here I am in July of 2025. Did I think I was going to get here? No. And as I talk to other people that are younger, I listen to people say they don't think they're going to live this long. They just, I didn't think I'd come home from Vietnam. And then when I did, it was like I had a Superman complex. I didn't think the mob was going to bother me at all. I thought these guys were duffers, man. They were going around doing things that were really stupid. Robbing, stealing, extorting, punching people around, killing people for no reason, over money. They kill people over money. Not because their life was in danger or anything like that. There you got one, Scott. I even survived Mad Sam's basement. That was it. I even did. That's one of the major things I look at today. I didn't look at it as a big thing then, but I'm looking back at things now and saying, wow, it was really different. Bill Kirschmeyer, the Kraut. Red, you have openness and honesty and attractive to people. I didn't know I was that attractive to people. Being open and honest, yeah. I really believed very much. You might have heard it in the movie The Thief, but I heard it way before that movie. And it was lie to no one. If they're a friend, you're going to ruin it with a lie. And if they're not a friend, who the hell are they you got to lie to? So I kind of put that in my pipe a long time ago. But then we go back to people like the foolish guy that left the comment that said, I don't believe this, I don't believe that, whatever he didn't believe. There's a lot of people that don't believe. I don't know why a 76-year-old man, I mean, what am I trying to do here? Am I trying to get money from you? I mean, what am I really trying to do? I don't make that much off of YouTube. I'll tell you that much. Every 3 months I get a check. But the truth of the matter is, it's that way. D Swizzle, I announced that I'm gonna load it up, but it's gonna be for members only, members to my channel. I mean, there's enough people that were members that left, and I have a couple that have been loyal to me now, and they deserve that. The crowd deserves it right here. He deserves it. Yes, you're right. When they say the truth will set you free, it was a good statement. It's the easiest way to freedom. You never lie. You don't have to remember what you said. D Swizzle, you don't like what I said? It's a boo? How about goodbye? Do you understand that? Huh? You want to boo me? I just gave you a timeout, buddy. I didn't ban you from the channel yet. If you were face to face with me, you wouldn't boo me. Why should you treat me any different? Don't you think I've earned your respect? You don't think so? They were going to at one time. It didn't work out. Like I said, nothing in my plan has ever worked out properly. Wasn't planned. Tracy, get out of here. We don't hate or disrespect. Thank you, Tracy. My lady from England. UK, England. So that's about what it is, folks. It's kind of a long thing I mean, you can watch it and skip spots and go over. Maybe you just watch it all the way through. It's long. Sometimes Frank would sit and talk to me, and I'd have to change the tape. So this one, it's a long. When I sat through it, I was waiting for this, waiting for that, and I can remember certain things that were said. And it's just like I was working with those things with Anna. He wanted me to, what do you call the thing? I'm trying to think. He wanted me to type in the words because I could understand them, and he could not. Jim Cat, I think it's cool that you worked at the Olympic Theater in the 60s. It was. That was like 1964. You probably walked past me a lot. I don't doubt it, Jim. 1964. I put in an application for the one in Berwyn. I'm trying to think of the name of it now. But they didn't hire me. The Olympic did. And then a lady she fell down the stairs at the Olympic, and they were suing the theater. And I don't know, there were attorneys in there and all different kinds of people looking, taking pictures, and I was the usher. So it was one of those things where I just said, I quit. And I went and found something else to do. Jim Jagger. Hey, Red, did you ever go to the Redhead Bar? Redhead Piano Bar in Chicago? No, I did not. You know, I haven't seen Don Cheech in a long time. I really haven't. I don't know what's happened to him. Justin Mason, if the Alpha made someone disappear, where would they end up usually? There was no usually. It handed in a different at different times. I mean, it was different things, different times. Bodies showed up in the trunks of car most of the time. Some bodies were never found. O'Hare Airport was a big go-to in the 60s, early 70s. But neighborhoods, Lower Wacker Drive, somebody's neighborhood, somebody's alley, that sort of thing. Hey, Mo, how you doing, guy? It's good to see you. Good to see you, too. A salute. Hope you're doing well. You're a good man. Very good man. And somebody that I'll always remember on my travels. Tim Peroni, I remember the big ads they would have for the Admiral Theater and the Sun Times. I don't. I never saw the ads. It was just that way. Yes, I knew Louis. Louis the Mooch. Louis came to me for favors, political favors. I knew judges. I knew police. I knew a lot of things. So Louis was, I don't know. I called him Louis. I never called him Everly. Never said his last name in front of him. But I knew him. He died in 1987. Pancreatic cancer. I think the first time I met Louis was like in 1980, 1981. He was collecting money from Nikki Stevens at the Infernos. It was a strip club that I worked at. And Louis came in. He was wearing a captain's cap with scrolling mark all over it, like for boats, like fishing. And I don't know, casual, but decked out. Casual. Nice guy. Never saw a crossword out of his mouth, ever. I hope that answers your question, Justin. Justin, and the rest of you guys, if you're not a subscribe to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know I'm coming on when I'm coming on. I'll be on every Monday. Jim Jagger, hey Red, that's another. Well, yeah, I think I bought 2 dozen of them. I just got different varieties. There's a yellow one, a red one, a green one, and they have different patterns on them. Some have fish, and some have what do you call it? They all have palm trees on them. Okay, Kraut. Been missing him ever since I got a nice 65 Riviera model finished. Oh, wow. His Facebook account's still active. I assume you're meaning Don Cheech. Trying to reach him. Any messages? I haven't heard about him in a long time. Jim or Bill, the Kraut. I'll call you the Kraut. You want to be called the Kraut? I'll call you the Kraut. For everybody, I gotta turn around here. Swivel. My dog put his ball down at my feet. And it makes it uncomfortable. This is what the Kraut. We have some dust. Gave me as a gift. He just sent it to me. And it's a little dusty right now. This is a replica of my GTO that I wrote about in my book, and I put in the lake, Lake Michigan. And the Kraut, or Bill the Kraut, he sent this to me. No reason. It was a surprise. And it always sits here on my table. That's why it's dusty. My GTO is still in the lake. I don't know where it's at, Tim. I have no idea. I have no idea where it's at. Jim Cass, what an amazing building the Olympic Theater was housed in. The East Side. Jim, you say, Jim, you pronounce that Karaz, Karaz? I don't know if I'm saying your name right, buddy, but thank you for saying I'm very cool, dude. There were a lot of things there that were first. I mean, if you go back into the 50s and early 60s, that place was an institution. It was only like a quarter. It was 25 cents to get in there. And there was always a double feature. And I don't know, everything was good there. I had a good time there. Working there was really great. I enjoyed it a lot. There are a lot of good things about Cicero that I like. Jim, I'm trying to subscribe, but I'm not computer savvy. But I will order your book. That's nice of you. You might enjoy the book. I just sent out a bunch of them today. The one that's going to Indianapolis, Indiana, that left. I got tracking numbers on all of them, folks. The one that went to Scottsdale, Arizona, that left today. The one that went to Columbia, Illinois, which is a town I never heard of, that left today. 9 books left today. So, and they were all autographed. But if you don't want to get it autographed from me, same price, you can buy it on Amazon, Jim. And as far as subscribing, below your screen, what you see is a thing that says subscribe, and there's a little bell next to it. And it also has a little switch for like, if you like the video or not. If that helps you out, I don't know how old you are, but in my case, when I don't know what's going on, I find a younger person to help me. And you can always like and subscribe when you don't have to do it while I'm on the air here. You can do it at some other time. All you got to do is come back to YouTube and find it. Okay, buddy? And if you buy a book for me, I'll autograph it probably to Jim. That's what I usually do, to a name, the first name of a person. Oh, yeah, they did. I don't think they invented cement overshoes, but they took a few people out there with the left foot in a 5-gallon bucket, the right foot in a 5-gallon bucket, and they poured quickcrete, a quick sackcrete in there. That was it. That's what you read from books, Tim. There weren't a lot of bodies in the cell and the CalSag. What there were a lot of cars. When they wanted to dump a car, they would dump it in there. As far as bodies, a few, not many. Most of them wanted to be found. The ones they didn't want to find, they never put in the CalSag. The ones that went in the Metropolitan Sanitary District in Stickney, They never found those ones. There were a lot of other places. Jim, I don't know what you're saying, cars. I don't understand it, buddy. Whoa. I'm backing up. Anyway, folks, Dave and Wolfie. How you doing, Dave? Watch Dave and Wolfie's channel. Dave talks about Wolfie, and Wolfie's kind of the star of the show. Hey, you stop that. I don't know if he's got Duke here has got some kind of itching or what, but come here, buddy. Come on. This is the Duker. The Duker, come up here. Come here. Come here, big guy. Come on. Duke's got his ball. You can look at the camera. You big boy. Okay, down. Down. Good boy. Down. I got a kid. He just dropped this the other day, I believe. He went to visit Wolfie. And I didn't understand that at all. I really didn't. But Wolfie has got a deep bark. She's quite a girl. And Dave, you got to stop feeding her pizza. So, anyway, folks, it was a pleasure talking to you, a pleasure seeing you. And he's a man's best friend. And Duchess was too. Every dog I've had, that's the problem with me. I'm so old now. I'm 76, and I've had dogs since 1970, and they only last about 10 years. Dobes, my Dobermans, only lasted 10 years. I've only had 2 shepherds now. Duchess was the first one, and Duke is the second one. And I'm not looking forward to burying anymore. So you can figure every decade I had another Dobe. And that's the way it is. So you too, Kraut. God bless you. Take care. All of you folks that are here. Christina. Thank you, Christina. I think he's gorgeous. I like him. I think I'll keep him. I don't know. That's a good question, because Adam's got different things going on in his life. Like he said he wasn't going on any tours this week, and he went out on a tour on the weekend. So I don't know what that's all about. But what I do say is he asked me about, doing a show. Are we doing a show? And I said, yeah, well, let's do one. And that was over the weekend. And I said, I gotta think of a thumbnail to put up. He said, oh, I'll make one for you. And I couldn't get him yesterday. So if we're doing a show Wednesday, I really don't know about it. But I'd like to. As an usher at the Olympic Theater, did you have to wear? Yes, I did. I had to wear a sport jacket. And I did not have to pay for it. They had it. They had it for me. I had to wear black trousers, though. The most significant thing, I don't know, you probably don't know about it, Jim. The most significant thing that happened to me at the Olympic Theater was there were some guys. I went to school at Morton, and there were some guys at school. They had different factions. They had the greasers, and they had the collegians, whatever. And there was a guy up in the balcony, and they were fighting. Several guys were fighting with him, and they stabbed him and threw him over the balcony. And as an usher, it was my thing to straighten everything out. And it was bad. It was really bad. That was 1965, I believe. It was something else. Thank you, Christina. Well, they don't pick the dog. I'll tell you, Duke picked me. I never thought I was going to get another dog. I want you folks to have a good week. I'll try and get back with you on Wednesday. Okay. And until then, it's Red Wemette. Let me see if I can straighten this out here. Jim Cass, ouch. I remember the greasers and the dupers. Yeah, the dupers too. Yeah, you were there, guy. That was something else. You remember the stairs that used to go down to the bathrooms downstairs? Different. Thank you, Dave. Please like it. And we'll see you later, too. God bless. God bless everybody. It's Red Wemette out.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweihs, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.